Hi, I'm Roger, here with a regular reminder of what cars look like, because you're going to have to buy one of these eventually, even if you currently have one. And you're going to have to buy this car from me, a legally mandated middleman who buys up cars and resells them for almost no profit unless I screw you over, which I will. But don't worry, if you don't like that, you can go to another dealer run by another middleman who's basically just me again, Roger. Whether you want a car powered by exploding dinosaurs or one powered by lightning, come on down and buy one. That's not a request. Unlike every other purchase in your life, you can't buy this tiny rolling metal house online for a set price. No, you have to come across town to where I work, even though you don't have your own tiny rolling metal house to get you here. Then you'll negotiate a price with me, a person who spends every minute of every day getting better at negotiating. And once you promise to give me all of your lots of money now, or all of your less money now, plus more money regularly for a long, long time, you'll drive your enclosed chair off my lot and onto busy, crumbling roads at the speed of basically whatever you want. But don't worry. You and everyone else learned driving skills for the first and last time at age 15 from someone almost qualified to teach high school gym. And trust me, you're gonna love driving a car. Let me rephrase that. You're gonna buy a car, or this car. Oh, buy any car. I'm judged entirely by sales volume. I also have an incentive to sell you something broken, because our dealership's #1 profit stream is our service department. So get that even more money of yours ready to give to us. And in the event you break your car while you're in it, rest assured, we made a guy who sort of looks like you out of materials you're not made of and practiced beating the hell out of him a bunch of times. Anyway, you probably want to get back to watching sports or action movies from 3 years ago, or other TV aimed at adult males. But before you do, consider texting in a brand new traveling pollution machine from me, Raj. Just stop by my 20,000 square feet of water, aggregate, and cement that's been flattened out and dried by the side of a highway and make a major purchase you won't know the outcome of until far too late today. Also, buying this muscle car won't fix your penis, but you think it will, because we want you to. Hello, friends. Good evening, or morning, or day, whatever the case may be. I'm Roger Horton, representing Horton Family Prophylactics, an American tradition since 1931. Above all else, my grandfather Buck taught me the value of honesty and straightforwardness. That's why our condoms are unribbed, unflavored, and explicitly for sexual intercourse. That gives you peace of mind. You can always rest assured that a Horton brand condom is a bag for your dick to keep anyone from getting pregnant. I'm not going to obfuscate this situation any further. This product is essentially a bag or bowl or trap, really bag is the best analogy, that you put on your dick. Sperm gets trapped in there, and if you're familiar with human reproduction, nobody's getting pregnant at that point. So please, put your dick in our bags. Shoot sperm into the bags. Then you can throw them out. That's how they work. Oh, they're also good for keeping diseases off your penis. I'm Roger again, by the way. Hello there. Hi. My name's Roger, and I'd love to tell you all about my new restaurant that brings you cooked food alarmingly quickly. I promise to make this quick as well, because I know that you are, statistically speaking, an exhausted parent, or a struggling college student, or someone else with neither time nor money. Money that you're still going to spend. Hi, folks. Did you know that your brain can be addicted to not just drugs and alcohol, but to anything, from exercise to people to shopping? We do, and we picked food as the addiction we'd like to sell to you. That's why our meals are designed to be the perfect combination of fat, sugar, and the only rock that tastes good. Thanks to the human body's natural reward system and the fact that sugar can be more addictive than cocaine, our food is too tasty to resist. Literally, your brain will regularly crave one of our burgers. Burgers just like, well, not this one. That's not at all representative of the muscle and fat we actually sell. For this one, we had a team of food stylists and image specialists work for several hours. The muscle and fat sandwiches we sell are made by a 14-year-old in about 1 minute, but it sure does taste good. Enough until you want another one. Do you see this nugget? It starts as the whipped up muscles of chickens, and then we form it into a zigzag or some nonsense. It's not good for you, but we'll give you 10 for $3. So frankly, it's sort of irresponsible of you not to buy this. Offering our food at impossibly low prices is another one of the ways we hook people, especially and ideally people in low-income areas. Do you like plastic shapes? Your children do. We've decided to include free painted plastic shapes in all our children's meals so your kids will grow to associate our brand with reward and happiness. Before you know it, they'll be literally screaming for you to take them here. And once you do, you can just send them to the temporary kid zoo and enjoy your fat, sugar, and salt sandwich in peace. Our temporary kid zoo contains a pit and a slide, both perfect for creating the illusion of physical activity while really just letting gravity do the playing for you. It's also a cheap, fast, easy way to hook them early, so they'll develop fond memories of the restaurant to follow them as they grow up. Isn't that right?
Can I work here?
You sure can. And in just 7 months, you'll have made what I make in just an hour. Anyway, I've been Roger still, and I hope you come on down to the fast foodery, where the colors yellow and red have been known to subconsciously trigger hunger. Let me guess. Shopping for someone special? These are some pretty rocks we found. They can't be used for anything, and they all cost an exorbitant amount of money. Some come in shapes, and others come with metal wrapped around them. To get them, we turn a blind eye to child laborers in the mines, directly finance unsustainable mining practices the world over, and in some cases, buy diamonds directly from maniacal warlords using the money to buy guns and kill their countrymen. You might think that the danger involved is why they're so expensive. But actually, it's just because we decided they are. There are vaults full of these things, but we only sell a few a year to keep the price up, like a ticket scalper. Except that a scalp ticket can be exchanged for the experience of going to a live show, and these are inherently worthless rocks. Like this one of my favorites. This is from our signature Shiny Rock That We Found collection. It's sure to make that special someone think, wow, you're willing to spend too much money on something that shouldn't cost that much money? That's love. Actually, full disclosure, this is cubic zirconia. It looks basically the same, but it costs almost nothing. So we use it as a show model. I've got a yellow one, and I've got one shaped like a square. I call these ones fancy, so we can charge more. Of course, if you're trying to coat an industrial drill, then real diamonds work better. Otherwise, glass is fine, but please, buy diamonds instead, because they cost so much more.
What about that one?
Oh, that's not a jewel. That's just a pretty rock. It's worthless. Alan, stop putting rocks in a display case unless you put the rocks in that we arbitrarily decided are worth a lot of money.
Sorry.
Hard to find good help these days when you sell shiny rocks at the mall to idiots. Oh, no offense. So, come on down to Shiny Rock Mall Store and trade your rectangular pieces of paper and assorted metal discs for these rocks we found. We also accept that you hand us a plastic rectangle and we run it through a computer and hand it back to you. Oh, I'm Roger, by the way.
Are you a high-performing athlete? Do you strive for excellence and test the limits of your own endurance?
If so, you're the ideal candidate to drink our flavored solution of salt, sugar, and water. If you're not an elite athlete, a regular diet of salted sugar water may contribute to obesity or high blood pressure, but we'd still like you to drink it, as the elite athlete market alone is too small to support our business. A solution of salt, sugar, and water is also helpful if you have a hangover, extreme diarrhea, or just want to feel marginally less guilty about drinking a soda. We promise our flavored solution of salt, sugar, and water will temporarily satisfy your obsolete caveman brain's insatiable desire for sweetness. That's because it contains the same amount of sugar as a can of Coke and enough salt to kill a banana slug. And only Horton brand combines 3 secret ingredients with bitchin' flavor names for a placebo effect you can taste. We also put words on the bottle that seem connected to the idea of health, but actually mean sugar and salt. Words like electrolytes, fuel, power, vitamin, and cool endurance. I made up that last one. Anyway, here's someone running on a treadmill attached to sensors. This does an excellent job of illustrating the type of thing that is not a part of our process. Most professional athletes today don't even drink salted sugar water unless we pay them to. You'd think they wouldn't need the extra money, but they've ruined their bodies for your entertainment and must take what they can before their spines degrade into a fine powder. Kind of chalky. Horton flavored solution of salt, sugar, and water. This year, there's a purple one called Panther Rain.
That's what I call a slam dunk.
And Roger with the pant! Yeah! Hi, I'm Roger Horton, here to talk about Horton Pharmaceuticals' new compressed powder capsule for the treatment of erectile dysfunction, which is fancy doctor talk for when your penis doesn't harden, even though you went to a lot of effort to try and get it to. We know this is a sensitive subject, so we've decided to soften the blow with a variety of images that evoke masculinity. This may distract you from the fact that you need medicine because your penis doesn't work. At the very least, it allows us to air the ad on network television rather than as a banner on a pornography website. Look, an American-made truck. Boy, what a nice truck. Impotence is characterized by the inability to develop and maintain an erection, most commonly impacting men over 75 years old. Here's a gentleman fixing a lawnmower in a garage. It's a visual associated with manliness. Like a lot of men his age, this gentleman wants to become erect at times of his choosing in which he deems appropriate, but can't on his own. Instead, he takes our pill in order to force blood into his penis so he can still lay with his wife in the biblical sense. By which I mean f***ing. Let's move on. These fireworks symbolize you orgasming powerfully because we thought a train going through a tunnel was a little too on the nose. Baseball. What a sport. It's America's pastime. And so, by extension, could your penis be. Sildenafil was invented to treat heart problems, but scientists quickly realized it had the unexpected side effect of creating almost unstoppable erections. So now we sell it exclusively for that purpose. Its effects on the heart remain a mystery. Factories, the American prairie, horses running free, Mount Rushmore, families at a barbecue, tools. Your penis doesn't work as well as it did in your youth. Take the Horton Penis Blood Filler Pill, and it might. Again, it's a drug that forces you to have erections that are less sensitive than natural erections and could potentially last so long it becomes a medical emergency. But most men prefer them to not having erections at all. I'm Roger, by the way, and I endorse, but do not personally need this product. Ladies. Hello. Are you tired of only owning inanimate objects, frustrated by human relationships that don't grant you the absolute power over life and death? then you are the ideal candidate for sentient living animals. Why own a member of an inferior species? Well, in the past, animals have revolutionized agriculture, transportation, fashion, even entertainment. Now, thanks to centuries of forced inbreeding and genetic tampering, these ones are good only for companionship and stress relief. Maybe you'd like a very high-maintenance painting, or perhaps you'd enjoy, due to deep-seated personality problems, owning a living thing exactly like those which you've spent hours trying to keep out of your home. These are another kind of living thing you can own. We don't sell them. They're fucking boring. In the end, we don't care why you want to own a sentient being. We're a business, and this is our product. Feed them to one another if you want. In some cases, that's what they're meant for. If anything, we'd ask that you don't have sex with them. But honestly, if you did, it's unlikely anyone would ever find out, since most can't talk. Isn't that right, little guy? No power of speech for you. We've even set up a display of baby living things like Scout here to trigger your hardwired nurture response. Which raises the question, if you don't buy this dog, will we kill him? Is that how it works? Do they just get killed if no one buys them? The risk is yours to take. If you're worried about the responsibility, don't be. Should this living thing you own die due to gross negligence, you are in no way legally responsible. Try that with a human child. Heck, if you want, you can heat its muscles and consume them for nutrients, if it's the kind of animal to which that is done in your culture. Finally, no sentient living animal is complete without cages, restraints, and other vaguely S&M themed accessories or humiliating costumes. Remember, it has no choice. You own it. Sentient living animals. Because that's a slightly punchier name than ineffectual slaves who love you implicitly because they have a limited scope of understanding. I've been Roger Horton, and please, have your mammal's genitals removed in infancy without their consent. It's the right thing to do. There's no truer expression of love than a fancy wedding. Or at least that's what I and my peers have convinced you for financial reasons that will soon become clear if they aren't already.
Sorry, are we paying for this time?
Long ago, marriage was strategic. A way to legally bind two families or to increase one family's land holdings. Today, very few issues can be settled by robbing your children of their right to choose a lover. However, people like me still wanted to make money, so we built an industry around the idea that you should legally bind yourself to the person with whom you most enjoy having sex. Or failing that, with whom you're most comfortable. Or failing that, anyone you want for basically any reason, including immigration or tax concerns, provided it's not a family member. You don't have to, of course, but it would be weird and kind of pathetic if you don't. Your parents agree with us. And anyway, can you really put a price on love? Yes. Love costs on average $31,500.
Holy fucking shit!
Yeah, same question?
I told you we shouldn't have given a kosher option.
Save it for the vows. Is this a wedding or an informative short?
We honestly don't know.
Congratulations, you've met the love of your life. What better way to celebrate than by spending several paychecks on a party for so many friends, family members, and people you don't know, but who your parents insisted you invite, that you never speak with any of them for longer than 15 seconds. Society has agreed that it would be awkward if those in love didn't host a cripplingly expensive event at which your friends and family get to watch you kiss and have a chance to object if they want, preferably after the meal. In exchange, newlyweds receive money and/or presents from a pre-approved list of things you'll need to own to begin your life as dual consumers. It's your little way of saying, buy those bowls we want, friend from college. In reality, your marriage is an open-air market facilitating the barter of appliances for booze and a meal. But make no mistake, no one's making money here, except, of course, those of us in the legal binding of people with vaguely religious undertones industry. Example, You're going to want music at your reception or everyone will be mad. And even though an iPod plugged into a speaker would be fine, we've convinced you that you need to spend over $1,000 for a stranger to plug in his iPod instead. This is human DJ Chaz. He doesn't have a degree in anything, and he'll play that song that orders the listeners to get louder, then softer, then louder again, and so on and so forth in that fashion. If you fail to retain his services, yours will be a cursed union. These are pleasant-smelling remains of murdered plant life. They cost $2,000 and are garbage 2 hours after you say, I do. I'd also like to remind everyone that common wisdom states an engagement ring should cost roughly 2 months' salary. And let's not forget about your maid of honor and best man. We don't profit much on that one, outside of charging them an outrageous amount to rent an outfit worn by dozens of people before. Really, we just thought forcing you into picking your favorite friend would be a funny way to add stress to your wedding day. You literally have to decide which of your friends is best, then make them write a speech.
Even though this is only my 4th time talking in front of a group, I'm gonna tell a wildly inappropriate story about the group. It's intensely private, but society has obligated me to reveal it on what is arguably the most important day of his life, in front of people who really aren't gonna find it charming. But don't worry, everyone. I'm drunk! Woo! Beep, 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 boo! Beep, boo, boo! Beep, boo, boo!
Add in a choreographed dance, thank you notes, and vows, and you'll soon see your wedding as that expensive party that requires homework. And don't forget, everyone knows you're going to have sex afterwards. They're all fine with it, there's no problem. I'm just pointing out that when anyone smiles at you at your wedding, they're thinking they're going to fuck later. Your grandma knows. She's lived a long, full life. You think she doesn't know what happens on your wedding night? And therefore has probably at least briefly imagined the two of you fucking? Newsflash, she has. Respect the elderly. I'm Roger Horton, and with the power vested in me by the internet, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Fuck you, pay me.
Welcome to the first of far too many debates, literally more than a year before you'll actually have the chance to vote for anyone. Joining us is the current frontrunner, who we've positioned in the center even though they don't need any extra attention.
Thank you. And thank America.
Next, someone you've never heard of, who will make no lasting impression on anybody and will be forgotten soon after the debate.
I'm just happy to have been invited.
Next up, a woman.
Actually, I'd appreciate it if we didn't focus on the fact that I was a woman, unless, of course, it's beneficial to me at the time.
A complete whack job who's having an unsettling amount of success pandering to other total whack jobs.
We have to kill the fish.
We also have a political outsider who's absolutely not qualified to run a country.
As someone who has done no political or government work, I feel like I can not only relate to you, but also be able to fake my way through the next 3 to 5 years, however long a person is president for.
I'd like to point out that I'm also on the outside, an outsider. I'm not like these congressmen, these senators. I'm a governor.
I'm sure that's not the only time any of you will disrespect me or the rules of this debate, but thanks for introducing yourself. And finally, this one.
I would like you to please make me president because you recognize my name from other earlier presidents.
Now, the first question goes to the person we're all here to see, this walnut over here. Now, you've said some seemingly unreasonable and borderline Hitlerian things over the years. Would you like to explain those things, ignore me entirely, or double down on those things?
Well, I think I've been pretty clear in terms of how unclear I wanted to be on that. Now, I said some things which I did say, but you may think I didn't say them. I said them, and I want you to be sure to know that whatever it was, I agree with it, whatever it is. And remember, a vote for me is a vote for whatever it is I said when I was recently saying it, but I wasn't sure of what it was. But you get me if you vote for that.
Frontrunner, would you like to even bother?
Sure, I might as well. It's only a matter of time before he's irrelevant and I'm President of the United States.
Lame duck, a response. Forgettable beige candidate, I'm talking to you. Yeah, a response.
Actually, I like to avoid answering the question. So America is good, but it still needs some work. Forward is it, that's what. And gun to my head? Here's an unrelated statistic that probably isn't even accurate. But furthermore, yes. Thank you.
And you, as a woman, do you think it's relevant that I brought up your gender just now?
Actually, I think it's completely irrelevant and insulting. My record speaks for itself. That being said, I do think it would be nice to have the first woman president. So.
Anyone else?
Well, I'm not here because I think I'll be president. I don't at all. But if I can keep myself near the spotlight, I can possibly get a pretty sweet and steady gig as a political pundit for the rest of my life. So remember me slightly, please. But not enough to make me president. The thought absolutely terrifies me. You know, remember me a little.
And now we're going to go to a social networking site to see what some random person wants to know.
What do you think? Is it?
So here's the name of something that I did. And I didn't do it well, but I'm saying it with confidence so you won't bother looking it up. You've certainly never even heard of it.
Perfect. Now I'd like to ask you, what is your plan to get this country out of debt?
Can I answer your direct question with a series of unrelated platitudes?
I cannot stop you.
Excuse me, but I've gotten basically the same amount of time as everyone here, but I didn't use it to say anything of note, so I'm going to complain for a moment. Now, everyone, look at me. Okay, thanks.
Real quick, I would just like to show some kindness to my opponents, even though for some reason it will be perceived as weak.
A wet noodle of a statement from some guy up there. Now, I'd like to give everyone some time for closing statements.
Well, I'd like
I'm sorry, the company that owns our news outlet has given large sums of money to your campaign, so I'd prefer if you went last. Anyone else?
I'd like to give a watered-down summary of what I said all night.
Me too, actually.
Same.
One last time. I would like to blatantly pander to everyone's jingoistic instincts and their unfounded fear of foreigners.
And our predetermined winner?
My fellow Americans, vote for me in more than a year. You're basically going to have to.
Couldn't agree more.
Wait, I don't have to do this for a whole year, right?
Yeah, you're done. You're good. You can moderate the next one if you want. Thanks for watching part 1 of 27 of tonight's presidential debate. We'll be back in a moment.
Hello, I'm Roger. I'm sorry to distract you from your Thanksgiving dinner, but let's face it, Thanksgiving's just a warm-up holiday for Christmas, and cranberry sauce is garbage. Speaking of Christmas, I'm here to remind you to get a head start on all your trophy tie and toy buying by going out to our Black Friday sale. Black Friday is a day invented by us, the people who sell things, to lure you, the humans who buy them, away from your families on one of the only nationally recognized holiday weekends of the entire year by enticing you with marginal discounts on products that you can buy literally anytime you want on the internet. Probably for an even better discount. But we spend millions of dollars on advertising to convince you that Black Friday is the only day you can buy any of these gift items, as if we wouldn't immediately and wordlessly take your money on any other day of the year. We've made it our mission to convince you that all the smart shoppers do their holiday trophy collecting on Black Friday. We even turn it into a competition by arbitrarily limiting the time these great bargains will be available, which is enough to turn many of you into bloodthirsty Vikings, battering and trampling each other for the privilege of paying slightly less money for some toy or small appliance that you could have easily purchased months ago on your smartphone. This is a crock pot, a product you never think about that spends 364 days a year collecting dust on retail shelves across America. And on Black Friday, you can have one for just $20, which for all you know could be a great deal. You don't know. You haven't priced crock pots recently because you don't want one. But there you go, buying it anyway. Only a fool would pass this up. And you're not a fool, are you? Because there's nothing more important than rewarding your friends and family with prizes. That's why we've gradually started kicking off Black Friday earlier and earlier, to let you get the jump on all those other bargain hunters eager to go out and buy secret rewards for other people at 5 o'clock in the morning. Is 5 too late in the day for you? Worried all the good bargains will be gone by the time you get there? How about 4 a.m. or 3? Heck, we'll open our doors for you at midnight and make it seem like we're giving you an inside track to beat the crowd. And you want that, because our ad has been specifically designed to induce anxiety in you by convincing you that everyone else is shopping earlier, faster, and smarter than you. At any rate, regardless of when you show up, you'll still be one person in an impossibly massive crowd of the most stressed people you will ever encounter, while being bombarded by all the bright arrows and signs telling you about the deals that we assure you are insane. It's altogether an overwhelming and unpleasant experience for everyone. We are so dedicated in delivering to you the ultimate negligible discounts on frivolous items experience that some of our locations will even open their doors on Thanksgiving Day. Our little way of saying Thanksgiving. We'll happily force our minimum wage making teenage employees to work on one of the only 2 guaranteed retail holidays of the year to make sure you get the best possible price on that exercise bike you didn't even know existed 24 hours ago. At least until we have another sale at the end of the month, like we always do, to give everyone a chance to buy all the prizes they really wanted instead of whatever you got for them on Black Friday. So we'll see you bright and early Friday morning, or maybe Thanksgiving afternoon. Hell, just put your turkey in some Tupperware and eat it on the way. It's all a question of how much you like being around your family versus how much you like buying things for them. And isn't that what Christmas is all about? Happy holidays.